Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let the all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, double honors to apostles, elders, Bishop of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across planet Earth, pushing this truth, the sincerity, the spirit, and truth. So yeah, I got this article. Basically, it's Trump saying that he's not afraid. He's not afraid of a ground invasion, Vietnam style ground combat in Iran. And he's also mentioned how he's not afraid of anything. But, as the scriptures talking about how, he's a proud man. This devil, they're proud people. But the Lord's going to bring that pomp to the ground. And also when the Lord returns, he's going to be afraid. I bet you anything that he's going to be afraid according to the scriptures, man. They're going to be hiding out, in the mountains, trying to get away from the Lord. So that's when that fear is going to come upon them, man. But, this war will happen. He's not afraid of a Vietnam style. And there was a draft during that Vietnam War. It's going to be another draft right now, in this time. This is out of a Daily Mail. It's entitled, Trump Says He's Not Afraid of Vietnam Style Ground Combat in Iran. It says President Donald Trump said Tuesday he's not afraid, as was dated today, March 17th, 2026. He's not afraid to deploy U.S. ground troops within Iran, further emphasizing the lengths he is willing to go in his Middle East war. So yeah, scriptural, there is going to be, a war, a bigger war with Iran, World War III, and World War III is going to come out of that. But, there's another prophecy that has to pass first, man, and that mark of the beast, that microchip has to be pushed. But, we're close, man. So this may be the last president, Speaking from the Oval Office alongside Ireland's Michael Martin, the president fielded many questions about the Iran war. Are you afraid that if you put boots on the ground in Iran, it could be another Vietnam? No. Trump shot back. I'm not afraid of anything. The president has previously said that he would deploy ground troops if necessary, but he has offered few details on what scenario would prompt boots on the ground invasion. Yeah, Trump shot back, adding, "I'm not afraid of anything." So that's be the main point in this lesson. When Yahweh Shai returns, that's when the fear is gonna hit. And he's an elite. He's a billionaire, so the Lord may preserve him. To be the first crop of slavery, man. All these guys with all this gold in the background, these elites. That's when that's when their fear is gonna come, man. When they see them chariots, in them skies. Scriptures say they were so afraid, yet durst fight. You best believe those generals and politicians and kings and princes of the world, they may not be in them fighter jets, but when they see them chariots, they're gonna be afraid as well, man. The whole world is gonna be afraid when they see those chariots. We have the second Ezra 15, 28. Behold, a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. Yeah, Middle East, Arabs, Ishmaelites, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath. So the Carmanians referring to the Iranians, Iran. That was the name of them before, so that's referring to Iran, the Iranians. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars in the wood. And with great power shall they come and join the battle with them, and cast a portion of the land, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So yeah, remembering their nature. What's their nature? That they're wild men. Arabs are wild. Strap bombs to their chest or whatever. So when Trump invades, you know, Vietnam style, it's gonna be the same outcome in Vietnam. Them Asians, Vietnamese, they just kept coming. They had that home advantage, guerrilla style warfare. So the U.S. couldn't do one, so they had a draft, and they had to create a draft during that time and send more people. It's gonna be the same time now. These wild Arabs are not gonna be able to get the upper hand of them, man. Remember, their nature gonna be wild, and that war is gonna escalate over there. But Second Surah, Obadiah, verse 3: the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Yeah, the pride of the heart hath deceived him, man. Man's real proud. Says he's not afraid of wars. He's not afraid of anything. When Yahushua comes with them chariots, you best believe he's going to be afraid of that, man. The pride of the heart hath deceived him, man. Them that dwell in the clefts of the rock. I'm talking to the Edomites, man. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? So he never feels he's going to fall, man. Even though they know America's on their last leg, they're trying to make America great again. He feels he's going to be on top forever. The Edomites. But, the Lord's going to bring them down. Pursuing the scriptures, man. The Lord's going to remove them from heaven. The scriptures say there shall be no place found in heaven. Meaning their rulership, man. He's going to take them out of rulership. He thinks he's going to rule forever. The Edomites, man. Even if America is fallen, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shai. And he's been doing that. He has exalted himself as the eagle, going back to, the Romans. They've always used that eagle as that symbol, their symbol. Romans, the Germans, now here in America, they use that eagle as their main symbol now. Well, they set that nest amongst the stars, going back to the 70s, man. Those Apollo missions, going up into the heavens, setting up their space station up there, the lower atmosphere. Because they can't go past that Van Halen belt, man. Or Van Allen belt, Though they set their nest among the stars, thence will I bring me down. And America's been going on that downhill decline ever since the 70s. Any economist or anybody can tell you that. Really, since the 70s, America's been on that downhill. Slowly but surely, America's been steadily going downhill since then. And now we're at the climax of that. It's Revelation 6:14. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Some of that nuclear destruction, man, as well as the mushroom clouds. And the kings of the earth, and great men, and rich men, and chief captains, and mighty men, every bondman and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Yeah, the kings of the earth. He's a king of the earth right now. He's also a rich man. He's also a chief captain, man. But all these Edomites, man. Because it said mighty men, bondmen, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of the wrath has come, and who shall be able to stand? Yeah, so when Yahushua comes, you best believe he's going to be afraid. He's saying he's not afraid now. He's saying, I'm not afraid of anything until Yahushua comes, man, in the chariots. And you best believe he's going to be afraid in that day. Psalms 149:6. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints. Praise ye the Lord. Yeah, so he's a king, he's a nobleman. So the more the Lord may allow him to be, preserved, so to speak, from destruction, from death, to be that first crop of slaves, man. Because he's a king, he's an elite on the side. The Lord may have it to where he makes it through. But you best believe he will be afraid, wherever his end may be. You best believe he will be afraid. The fear will come upon him, man. Last scripture. It's Isaiah 24:21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days they shall be visited. So yeah, man, the nobles will be thrown in these pits. The first crop of slaves in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be in the pit. He's going to be afraid, man, if he makes it to that point where the nobles and the kings and the elites that are with him, whoever in those pits, they're going to be afraid in that pit, man. So the Lord's going to bring that pomp down. He's going to bring that pride down to the ground. These Edomites have, man. All these Edomites and these elites. The Lord's going to bring that pride, down to the ground, man. Yeah, with that, shalom.